Hey everybody, how we doing? Happy Thursday afternoon or morning or wherever you're calling from. Hope everybody's doing well and having a great week. We should be live coming at you on Facebook and YouTube. Leave a comment if you will down below. Let me know that you guys can hear me okay. Um, Let me just check and make sure that it looks like everything's working here and we are actually live. Okay, looks like we're live. Great. Get back to the comments here. Perfect. Sounds good. Can hear you on Facebook. Excellent. Awesome, guys. Thanks for taking the time to join us today. We're excited to go over our integration that we have set up with TeeLaunch, as well as a few new updates that are going to be coming along with that over the next probably day or so. So we're really excited about it. They have a very unique catalog that not carry some products that not very many people, not very many PODs actually carry. So we're excited to have them part of the platform and have some ideas on making some of their products even easier for you guys to sell with personalization on some of the metal art and stuff like that as well. So um, we will go ahead and get started. Let me get my screen pulled up here. And as always, guys, if this is your first time here, if you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the chat as we go along. And then always at the end, we'll save as much time as possible to answer any specific questions that you guys have. Could be about, topics that we discussed today, such as TeeLaunch, or even just general questions about Anywhere POD or Etsy or different scenarios, anything that you guys come up with. We're happy to answer any questions you guys might have at that time. So let me jump in here to my account. Okay, give me 1 second here. All right, share screen. All right, I think we are ready to rev. Okay, there we go. Should see my screen up now. Okay, so you guys will notice now when you come into your account, of course, you'll have any connected suppliers here like you normally do. And then down below here, you'll now see an option to be able to connect to TeeLaunch. So the connection to TeeLaunch is very similar to a lot of the other suppliers. It's just a matter of getting the API token from your TeeLaunch account. We have some instructions here. And then we'll also have a training video to go along with this very soon. Since we just launched it today, we don't have that training video done yet, but it will be available soon. Just kind of going over what we're going to be going over today. So what you need to do is log in to your TeeLaunch account or create a new one. So we are able to get all of the mockups that TeeLaunch has available for their products. But to be able to do that, we have to create a new product in your account anytime you make changes to your artwork. So depending on how much you use your kind of product list inside of TeeLaunch, since it's free to sign up for a new account, that is an option. If you want to be able to keep your TeeLaunch products that you've created with Anywhere POD separate from other products or other orders, you can create a new TeeLaunch account to be able to do that. Or you can run it through your same TeeLaunch account that you may already have set up. So what you're going to do is log into your account, and then you're going to go to account settings. And we have that linked on that previous page, but it is just up here under account and then to settings. And then when we scroll down here, we're going to see a spot for our API token. I think if it's your first time doing this, you'll have a button to generate a new token or if you already have a token here, you can just click this button to copy the token. Now, one of the important pieces to make sure that you have that you put in place is for this webhook API. This is what's going to allow us to get tracking information and things of that nature from TeeLaunch as your product ship. So to do that, what you're going to want to do is here inside of Anywhere POD, here under step 4, you'll see that we give a little URL here that you can copy, and then you're going to place that inside of this field here and click on save. So once you have that, again, you just want to copy the API token and you're going to paste that into Anywhere POD, and then you're going to copy the webhook API URL and you're going to want to paste that into TeeLaunch. Okay, so once you have that completed, and let me just jump over to my other account that I already have set up here. Once you have that completed, you'll see now that you're going to be connected here and you're going to be able to come in and build any of the products with TeeLaunch. Now, if you're not familiar with TeeLaunch, a lot of their products are laser engraved, which means that the text or image or anything you put on it is going to be actually engraved on the design and it's not a digital print. So if I come in and look at, like, say, these bottles and tumblers, for example, those are laser engraved products. So, for example, if I look at this 30-ounce tumbler and I come in, I can go to start designing. The different colors listed here are going to be the different colors for the actual like powder coat that is on the tumbler itself. And then that powder coat is essentially laser engraved. So the powder coat is lasered off, and then you're left with the actual silver of the tumbler showing through where it was lasered. And their mockups do a pretty good job of showing you what that looks like. So if we just do some text here, and we'll just put in some test text here just to for demonstration purposes, so we can kind of see. Oh, let's select. Here we go. See what this looks like. So you create your product. Again, product creation, all the features that you're used to having inside of Anywhere POD, it's all going to function exactly the same way with TeeLaunch. So we're going to place that on here, and we're going to go to create product. And then this is going to go through the process like you're used to seeing, where it's going to generate the artwork for us. And then it's also going to generate the mockups from directly from TeeLaunch. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind is the mockup creation or product creation process takes a little bit longer with TeeLaunch than it does some other providers. So it can take a couple of minutes to generate the mockups here. There's also a bit more limits on how fast products can be created with TeeLaunch. So we can only create one about every 30 seconds. Now that doesn't really, mean anything to you guys because we will automatically queue those up behind each other. So if I wanted to go create another product right now while this is generating, I'm completely free to do that. There is a little bit more of a limitation on the bulk upload with TeeLaunch because of that. So you can only bulk upload 25 products at a time. But if I went in and created another one now, it would essentially just wait until I'm able to create another one, and then it would create another one right behind that. So what this is doing right now, if we jump back over to, so that we're back in my account in TeeLaunch now. So if I come back in here to my products, you can see here it has actually created a product with our sample artwork with all of the colors that I have selected. So that's what I was mentioning earlier is anytime you make an edit to the artwork, since you can't really edit inside of TeeLaunch, it's going to create a new product in your TeeLaunch account so that we're able to get those mock-ups out of TeeLaunch for you and add those to your product. So if I jump back over to Anywhere POD now, you'll see that we have all the mockups created. You can kind of see what I meant about the silver text and how the laser engraving works. Um, so you get access to all of the mockups like you normally would. Pretty much all the other functionality that you're used to seeing inside of Anywhere POD is going to be there. If you're not familiar with TeeLaunch, I would recommend coming in and taking a look at their product catalog. They have some pretty unique products. They have several different of these. Let's see, what category is this in? Maybe under games. Let's see here. Yeah, so they've got some puzzles. They got this tennis ball that can be printed on, and then they got a lot of these different sport balls in different size. You can see there's a mini size and a full size here. So there's quite a range of different sports memorabilia that you can print on and put designs on. Um, Again, some pretty unique products. They have a pretty good line of apparel. Their coffee mug pricing, I was pretty impressed with. Their coffee mugs are pretty cheap pricing wise. And let me see where those went here. Mugs. Yeah, so your colored inside and standard white mugs are all $2.99. Um, I think shipping is maybe a scotch more, $6 shipping, so still pretty decent. So your $6 shipping, your $2.99 on the mug itself. So it's a really good price on their mug offering as well. So something to check out if you're doing coffee mugs. Let's see. I think that's some of the unique things. Let's see. They got ornaments, die cut metal signs. We're going to be making an update to how you can handle personalization with the die cut metal signs, which I think is going to be pretty revolutionary for that product offering. So I'll go over that in just a minute. Let's see what else. Cutting boards are really neat. I love cutting boards. So these are actually laser engraved cutting boards. So your design is actually cut with a laser, kind of burned into the cutting board itself. So that is a super cool product. One of the POD manufacturer that I used to work for actually did that product as well. Did cutting boards like that, and it's a super cool product. So yeah, they have, like I said, quite a range of products. Looks like bumper stickers, posters. There's more of that sports memorabilia I was talking about. So very wide range of products. Again, I would recommend coming in here and checking it out. You can kind of browse by category over here if you want to. So if you want to look at just the supplier products for TeeLaunch, for example, if I click on my product catalog and I go to TeeLaunch, any of these products over here, or any of these categories over here on the left, will now just show me the products that are available specifically just for TeeLaunch. So if I want to see, what kind of blankets do you have? You can click into here, kind of see their blanket. They have a interesting selection on their blanket. So they give you a choice between either fleece or Sherpa, kind of all in the same listing. I think even with the different sizes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, with the different sizes. So you get all of that inside of one listing, which is pretty unique as well. So kind of interesting the way they do that. Alrighty, there's a couple things I wanted to cover and discuss as far as the metal signs go. Because for those of you that don't know, this is a pretty unique product from TeeLaunch that you don't really get other places with the metal signs. So I want to discuss that a little bit. But before I do that, I want to see if there are any questions about anything that we have covered so far. So if you have any questions, leave those in the comments down below. Um, do they offer any deals on samples? So I don't think they have any special pricing on samples. Let's just take a look here. Let me pull up my account, and I don't think, yeah, I don't think they have any kind of special pricing on samples. You can just place a manual order inside of Anywhere POD for any samples that you want, and they will send it your way. Or if you want to contact their support, you can ask them if they're able to give you any kind of a deal on samples. But as far as I know, they don't have any special pricing on samples. When selecting a font from the drop down, is there a way to display mostly used font at the top? Uh, so there is not yet, but if you take a look at our feature request board, there is a request in here for, let's see. Yeah, there is a feature request in here for most used fonts. So make sure to vote on that if you haven't yet. That is a feature that will be coming, but there's not a way to see your most used fonts at this time. And that would probably show most used fonts for your account, not necessarily kind of system wide, if that makes sense. Alrighty, I don't see. Here we go. Speaking of fonts, is there a way to make the font window larger? Can you tell me what font window you're talking about? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean by font window. Yeah, so let me know what you think there. I will the drop down. So I'm thinking you're talking about when you're inside of the editor here. I believe you're referring to this drop down here. Is that correct? Yeah, because some of the font names are larger. I don't know, I mean, I guess they wrap so you can still see them in here. So maybe this isn't where you're referring to. Um, Let me know. I'll try to address that further. As far as metal signs go, and I guess really any of the laser engraved products, if you're not familiar with one of the products, if you come into your TeeLaunch account, we don't have this information inside of Anywhere POD yet, but we will make this easier for you to be able to have access to while you're designing in Anywhere POD. But for now, if you come in here and over here on the right, they have this product design guide. If you click read on that, it will give you a good overview of the product, what is acceptable, how to design for it, what's not acceptable, that sort of thing, which especially is important to pay attention to on metal signs. Because with the metal signs, unlike other products that you're used to having something that is actually printed on a pre-existing product, the metal signs start out with just a slab of steel, and then your design is actually cut out of it. So you need anything that's not connected in the design is essentially going to fall out. So you can see, here on the A here, how they kind of have that connection there at the bottom. They have a connection on the R. All that needs to be cut out, and all of that needs to be transparent. So these can be a little bit difficult to design for, because you have to make sure that you have that transparency built into your design, and you have to make sure that when you're doing personalization, that your letters all connect, and that the text that the customer is entering, if you're doing negative text like this, you have to make sure that that is transparent. So I think they have an example in here maybe of some text. Maybe not. It was on one of someone else's example I think I saw. But if I wanted text, let me get back up to this. If I wanted text, like maybe I wanted a year kind of sitting on the ledge here, in that case, it can just be regular black text because it's actually part of it. Um, but otherwise, doing text like this, it actually has to be transparent. So what we will have, I don't know that we'll have it today, but we probably will tomorrow, if not by next week. We're actually going to have a process in Anywhere POD that when you're designing for metal art, anything that is white in your design will automatically get converted to being transparent for you. Um, so that will make the ability to do personalized designs with metal art um, very, very streamlined, completely streamlined. There's not really any other way to do that right now other than manually editing your designs inside of Photoshop. So this will again allow you to do personalized designs and even build other design elements into your metal signs without having to do additional manual edits inside of Photoshop or Photopea or anything of that nature. So it would remove if it's white text, it'll remove that, make it transparent. If you've got some sort of white clip art, like I think even in their example here, I guess they show this with a blue, but if I had white in my spaces here, we'd be able to remove that as well. Um, so it's again really going to help in the design of doing these metal designs. The only other thing you have to do is make sure that your fonts are connected. Meaning here, if you look at this R, if I didn't have my line above and below here, the center of that um, R wouldn't be there and it would look kind of funny. So the easiest way to get around that is to actually use a stencil font. So we have a few of those loaded now into Anywhere POD for use of designing with the metal signs. So if I open up my font box here and I look at stencil designs, the one that TeeLaunch recommends in some of their videos is this Stardust stencil um, in the bold variation because you want something that's kind of thicker. So they said that one should be one that works well. So again, in this case, you're going to have we'll have a video that goes over more detail in designing for metal designs. But you're going to have essentially your background here that is going to be black, and then you'll have your text over the top of it be white. So this should really help in the designing of doing those. Again, we'll have a video going over that in more detail and probably be covering it in some of our live streams coming up. But that's going to be, like I said, a big help for doing the metal signs. Okay, let's see here. Fonts, can we upload our own? Yes. So that's I guess while I'm talking about that, so we have I think there's 3 stencil designs. Um this yeah, here we go. This one's a little bit more plain, so we got that one, and then we've got this Stardust, and this one kind of has a little bit of drop shadow type effect on it. I don't know if it'll work the best on metal signs, but we do have those 3 open source fonts available inside of Anywhere POD now. If you want to upload your own font, whether it's for this or for something else, if you come over here in the left column, there is a section here called custom fonts. And if you take a look at this, Chris meets with kind of go through what that process looks like to be able to add your own fonts. But you can add your own in here. Basically, go to add custom font, and then you're able to upload your TTF file and then be able to use your own custom fonts. So that will work if you're buying fonts from somewhere. Like I know Creative Fabrica has some fonts that you can purchase. I'm sure they probably even have some additional stencil fonts if you want to get into doing some of the metal signs. Um, So I haven't looked at mapscapes or skyscapes specifically. Are those let's see. Why isn't that coming up for me? Mapscapes. I haven't looked at those specifically. We certainly will look into those more, but being able to do like star maps, I'm guessing is what you're referring to, and we are certainly looking at adding that functionality into Anywhere POD, and we do plan to add that. Um, there is, if you go again back to the feature request board over here on the left, there is a feature request in there to be able to do the star maps. So make sure to vote on that feature if you're interested in it. But that is something we plan to add in the future. In the meantime, if you do want to do designs like that, um, you can create your own star maps if you have another service that you want to use to create the star maps and then upload those into Anywhere POD as a custom image. Um, you can certainly do those types of designs that way too. Um, those cool custom neon signs on Etsy. I'm not sure what you're talking about. If you wanted to leave an example, I could comment if I've seen those, but just offhand, what you're describing, I haven't seen a supplier that offers those yet. Um, that would be so helpful. Have you partnered with a company that removed photo backgrounds yet? So being able to remove photo backgrounds is actually something that we've looked into to be able to add into Anywhere POD. We haven't really mentioned it during a live stream or anything yet, but if that's a service that you guys would be interested in having in Anywhere POD, certainly I don't think we have a feature request on that, but probably good time as any to mention if you come in here to the feature request board, you can inside of here create feature requests as well if you don't see the feature request that you're looking for. So if we searched here, I think even when I type into here, yeah, so even here when I type in, it will do a search down here. So you can start typing in what you want your feature request to be, and if you see anything similar, then you can just come in and vote on it. But I don't see a request in here to be able to remove backgrounds. So if that's something that you're interested in, feel free to leave that as a request or to vote on it. And we'd certainly look more into being able to offer that. In the meantime, can you show how to do them manually? Star maps and maps. Yeah, so it kind of depends on what. Let me see if I still have. I had a link here. I just don't know if I'll be able to find it offhand or not. That had a star map generator that you could use. I'm not seeing it this second. Let me see here. Give me just 1 second. I'll see if I have it over here. Yeah. So there's two here, and I'm trying to remember which one. Must be this one. Looks the same. Okay, so I can drop this in the comments too. But this is just a star map generator that I found online. You could use this one. You could, if you just Google like star map generator, I think you would probably find it as well. And I think is this the right one? Yeah. Okay. Um, So there's a few different settings I can put into here. I can put in like my latitude and longitude. So a lot of times people will ask for the GPS coordinates or for an address, and then you can get the latitude and longitude. And then you have a couple different options here on how you want it to show up. So whether or not you want to show constellations, background image. Okay. I guess that's what they call a cloudy background image. And then you can also set this glow, which I think just kind of makes the stars glow, which looks a little much. Had another one too. So then once you have that, you can save that as a PNG. And then once you have that downloaded, you can upload that as a placeholder image in Anywhere POD. And then basically when you get an order, you would just need to fill out this form again and download the PNG. I had one other one that had a ton of different options on it. Ah, okay, yeah. Here is another one. This one gets looks like maybe that one is not available anymore. Yeah, that one looks like it's probably gonna be the best option right now. Oh, no, here it is. This might work. Um, so this one's gonna be a bit more, I guess you would say techie, may not be. I'm hesitant if I even want to show it because it's a little bit harder to implement. But here it is. So this has tons and tons of different options that are available. Um, Probably a little too many options, but is able to show more things. So I can drop this in the comments too. Um, Again, not quite as user friendly as this one, where you can just kind of punch in what you need to in the form and generate it. So again, if you're looking to do star maps, make sure to vote on that feature, and that'll definitely be something we'll be adding in the future. Um, let's see if it's going to let me custom neon sign. Let me see if I can just find that real quick. I can't copy and paste from here, so bear with me for just 1 second, if you don't mind. Let me see if I can grab that link here. Yeah, it does not. I have not seen a provider for those yet. I have not seen anybody that's able to do those. If anybody else has, definitely leave it in the comments. But I have not seen anybody that's able to make those. All right. And when finding a supplier for t-shirts allows the print to follow the curve of the neckline. Um, I believe actually I may have. They do not have any integrations with anybody, so the only way they can accept orders right now are by placing manual orders. I was trying to talk them into getting the. It doesn't sound like they have API functionality either to be able to accept orders for us. I approached them to potentially be a partner inside of Anywhere POD, which they don't have that capability yet. But I still wanted to share it with you guys because if you guys can get some use out of it and you're interested still in selling that product and just creating manual orders for now, I'll definitely still share that link. The only thing I ask is that when you click the link and sign up, that you also send them an email and say, hey, you really need to integrate with Anywhere POD. Those guys are great. It would make this process so much easier. So um, once I have that together, we'll drop that in the Facebook group. Yeah, Chris said even manual orders would be a good start. Yeah, so I'm thinking they hear from enough of you guys, encouraging them to get the APIs needed to integrate with us. Maybe we'd be able to get them added in faster for everybody. Um, I'm not sure. I don't remember on their pricing. I had glanced at it. I don't remember for sure exactly what it was. It was they're definitely a smaller provider, but that's not always necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes you can kind of find that golden gem in those cases. So I'll definitely share that with everybody once I have it available. All right, guys. Any other questions about TeeLaunch or Anywhere POD or Etsy or things you're working on for Mother's Day or anything of that nature? Please let us know. We're excited to get TeeLaunch in. I think they have, like I said earlier, a pretty unique catalog. In particular, I love all of the laser engraved stuff because that's all pretty unique. We have another provider that should be coming on board. It's one you probably haven't ever heard of, but I really liked their product catalog and I really liked their pricing. So we're going to be bringing them on board as soon as we can. I was hoping to already have them done by now, but there was some additional stuff that we needed from them. But they've been great to work with and are making a few changes to be able to be integrated with us. So super excited to get them in for you guys, and we'll definitely make some noise once we have them integrated, and we'll probably be featuring them in one of our live streams like we did today with TeeLaunch. So um, all right. Yes, about the company TeeLaunch is joining with. So the way I was, so for those that don't know, TeeLaunch sent out an email. I don't know what in the last week or two, and they were talking about forget the exact wording that they used, but they were talking about their relationship with District Photo. Which, for those of you that don't know, District Photo is a huge print-on-demand supplier. They are big inside of Printify, probably one of the top mug manufacturers or vendors inside of Printify. Um, and actually operate under Printify under a couple different names because they have some international print facilities that they own as well, but it's not under the District Photo brand. So I think Harrier is the name of their kind of international provider. At least I know on the mug side. So anyway, what I understood from the email, again, this isn't any inside information. This is just my interpretation of the email. I haven't discussed it with the owner or anything yet. But the way I understood it is that they're just having, I guess, a deeper, more connected partnership with District Photo. It sounded like they've been working with District Photo for a long time. I'm sure District Photo's probably doing some of the printing on some of the products in their catalog as it is now. So it sounds like that relationship is just a little bit tighter. It didn't really sound like one was necessarily, buying out another and there was going to be, big tumultuous change or anything like that. So I don't foresee from our end there being anything from a merchant's perspective. I don't foresee there being any changes to what you're used to seeing from TeeLaunch. Um, for a beginner, is it better to be a bit general on Etsy or start in a niche? Yeah, so I mean, you'll find people with lots of different opinions on this matter. My opinion is that Etsy is a little bit different than if you kind of had your own website because each product page or each listing inside of Etsy is essentially your own little mini website. right? So someone's not necessarily coming to your Etsy shop and browsing through the products that you have and looking to purchase that way like they normally would on a traditional like Shopify store or something of that nature. So it doesn't matter as much if you have um, products in multiple different niches that cover multiple different areas. So I don't think that it's necessarily something that you have to be niche specific to be successful on Etsy. You can be a little bit more general and broad again, because when someone's finding your listing, they're going to Etsy and they're doing just a regular search inside of Etsy. So, in my opinion, the key to Etsy is behind the data and having a good product that people want to purchase, and then having the SEO behind it to help get ranked well. I think is kind of the key there. So I went and tried to pigeonhole yourself into one niche. I like products that are, may see a spike during specific holidays, but are also kind of evergreen. So, doing research around popular um, keywords that have a good competition to search volume ratio around things that are, maybe going to spike. Say, Mother's Day coming up, things are maybe going to spike for Mother's Day, but are also things that are going to happen throughout the year. So, for example, a first time mom gift, um, that's going to see a spike during Mother's Day because every mom is getting a gift on Mother's Day. But even throughout the year, first time moms still get gifts. So you're focusing on something that's coming up, like the holiday, but you also have something that's a little bit more evergreen that's going to spike at Christmas time, and that's going to give the potential for some sales even still throughout the year. So yeah, hopefully that helped you out some. If they're merging with another company, I hope the quality remains the same. I've had success with tumblers, very fast shipping. Yeah, so like I said, I don't foresee anything with their quality or anything like that. I think even the tumblers, they may even have their own in-house print facility that they do those on. I don't think District Photo even does any kind of laser engraving. So I would not expect to see any kind of change in supplier or in quality or anything that really matters to you guys at all. Um, any hint as to who you're working at adding to your integrations? Yeah, so as far as vendors go, actually one that some of you guys might be able to help with, I posted in the Facebook group earlier in the week about Printed Mint. We would like to get them added, but we don't really have a good contact there. So if you guys either have a contact at Printed Mint or even are just a customer of Printed Mints and want to drop in a nice word about us, or make any kind of connection there, we would be happy for that. So we'd like to get them on board. We have another, primarily a laser engraver, although they do some printed stuff as well that we're in the process of working with. They're kind of a smaller one that you probably haven't worked with yet, but they have some unique um, products and really good pricing. So we hope to get them added. And then we're in talks with several others, nothing that is definitive and in the works. And I will also say that we're taking recommendations. So if there's a supplier that you would like us to have, you can either drop a comment in our Facebook group. We'll kind of let you know where things are at with that, or leave a in the feature request board. I know there's a few listed in there. I think Printed Mints listed in there. TeeLaunch is listed in there, which we need to go in and mark as complete. Our Awkward Styles is listed in there. So any of those, if you're interested in any of those, please let us know. Leave us some feedback in that feature request board. It's helpful to know. And part of it comes down to how willing some of the others are to work with us. We think it's a great win-win scenario for us and for any of the print vendors, because they're gaining the direct relationship with the customer as well, with the nature of kind of how we work with them. So we think there's some good possibilities there with any of them. But the better connections we have there, the easier it is to do the integrations, and the more enticing it is to us if they're willing to kind of promote us out to their users as well. So if you have any connections or any thoughts, we're always open to those type of connections as well. Um, What was the first star map app you showed? Yeah, so I think you mean the one that is up on my screen now, and I will drop that into the comments here. Um, and I don't think okay. I dropped that in a comment, but I think it only went to YouTube. So let me jump over to Facebook and drop it in there as well. For some reason, when I comment through the streaming platform, it's only going to YouTube. So okay, yeah, there you should have that link now. It's very vague email. I wonder if we would get access to district photo as well then through TeeLaunch. Yeah, I mean, even if it wasn't all of district photos products, maybe they would have something where they bring on more products from district photo. I know we've looked into district photo in the past and what their offerings are, and they have a pretty extensive catalog. So, um, and I know TeeLaunch is kind of constantly listing new products as well. They just listed. We don't have it in yet because it literally like just came out today. Um, but they just listed these LED signs, which um, they look to be like a acrylic. That doesn't really show the image there, does it? Go back to LED signs. So they are an acrylic on this black base that has colors that play through. Um, and I believe they are laser engraved acrylic as well. So those are a really cool product. Let me see if I can find their. Let me pull up this link here real fast. Yeah, here we go. Acrylic LED signs, and I think did they mention in here? Yep, laser etched. So they are laser etched acrylic. Um, so they have different shapes that you can pick from, and then you can laser engrave on top of them. These are a pretty cool product. I don't know if it mentions it in here. This just came out today, so I haven't had a chance to read through it. But this is another product that I have a little bit of experience with. Again, from past print on demand vendors that I've worked with. And I know these type of laser designs with the light work really well when you have lasered lines that are coming from the bottom and stretching up to the top. It really helps to kind of light up your design because that light is able, when it shines through the acrylic, it's able to kind of more grab on to the spots that are lasered. So your designs really light up a lot more if you have, lines that are connecting going from top to bottom. Let's see what other, yeah, see here how they kind of have these lines coming down that go all the way up. Um, it really helps to light up your designs when you do that. There used to be one LED. Yeah. Let's see. Designs like this. Now this is cut out into a custom shape as well. But you can see how they kind of have the lines that spread up all the way to the top. There's several different designs like this that are kind of this like 3D style of like dinosaurs and teddy bears and like all kinds of different things that are really cool. Might give you some inspiration for that product if yeah. Actually, that's exactly what I was. There we go. The one with the teddy bear. Some pretty cool stuff that you can do with that product. So we'll be getting those added into Anywhere POD shortly. Like I said, they literally just launched this product today. So um, pretty cool to take a look at. I love Print a Minute. I would email their customer service. Yeah, I'd reached out to them. Been a little bit hard getting a hold of them. So if you have a contact there, or you are talking to them, want to mention something in passing, or want to make a connection there, we would appreciate that. Um, Yes, so we've actually had a couple conversations with Gear Bubble, so hoping that will go somewhere. It's not currently in process, but we have started conversations with them. So again, if you or others are interested in that, I would appreciate the um, leaving a vote on our feature request board is very helpful. Night sky view or anything equally quick and simple for maps. I haven't looked for anything like that. Um, but I'm sure. Let's just see real quick if I do like map image generator. That may not be the best. I'd have to do some looking around and see what I can come up with. I'm sure there are some things, even just something from um, Google Maps. I don't know if you would need to take something better than a screenshot to get good quality, though. So I would need to do some looking around. If you're interested in that, drop a message into support. And if you're not able to find anything, and we'll take a look and see if there's anything that we can find for you that helps with that. Alrighty. A lot of people there, long time customer. Great. Yeah. If you know anyone you want to make a connection with, we would be happy to do that. If you want to just send me a DM and either can CC us then on an email, or mention them to us, whatever works out the best there, or you're comfortable doing. Send me a message and we can talk about that a little bit more. Alrighty. Any other questions before we get rolling? Again, super excited about TeeLaunch. Very excited about the additional providers that we have coming on, and the additional features we have coming. So we'll definitely let everybody know once we have the feature in place for that's going to help with designing the metal signs. We'll let you know on that, and then we have several other features that are in the works that we hope to be able to roll out to everybody in the near future too. So, any questions, thoughts, or anything, please leave those down below in the comments. If you have ideas on features that you want, or anything like that, I encourage you to use our Facebook group, use the feature request board. Those help guide us a lot. It's not directly one to one. We can't always necessarily take the highest voted thing and have that always be the next thing. Sometimes part of our job is giving you the features that you didn't know you needed as well. So it's kind of balancing some of that along with feasibility of new stuff as well. So again, we love your feedback, and if you guys have any questions, let us know. Always hit up support. Check out the feature request board. Go check out TeeLaunch if you have any questions about how that integration works. We're happy to help with any of that as well. So with that, I'm not seeing any more questions, so we'll let everybody get back to it. Have a great week, and we'll talk to everybody hopefully next Thursday. Mark it on your calendars to join us again. Alrighty. Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care and have a good week.